We're having so much fun with the energies now. Okay, so sun and moon rising. I love this. Thank you so much. Ra, Luna, Michelle. So I have a question. Who or what is my soul lineage, and who do I belong to? Who do I belong to? That has a really strange vibration, that question. So, oh, wow. I'm getting some energies now. Let's see what's gonna. Ooh. Ooh. There's an expectation that you're holding in your solar plexus. It's very, came right in. It's very heavy. It's very, it's like a little low-level nervousness, but it's very present, I guess is a better word rather than heavy. It's just like there. And it's a yearning energy. And this is an interesting question. So when you think about soul lineage, this is how I see it and I explain it, and things come to me differently than they would come to anyone, okay? So even if I was trained in exactly the same modalities as somebody else, we would sit down and combine those through us in a different way. So who I've become, what's happened to me, what I've seen, what I've experienced, what I've learned has turned into a way of me seeing. So I sit down into a reading, I do energy work to connect and clear the space and align it with optimal and all that good stuff before I even get on the call, because especially now, there's very little happens before I start immediately seeing images and visions and parts of their body and feeling things like this. And it isn't for me to analyze. When I see it, I just accept it. If I find doubt or resistance within me, like, am I really seeing a blue dragon? Then I just let it be there to come back again. It'd be like saying to somebody, I don't understand. I couldn't hear you. Could you repeat that? And then that energy can come back. A clear way, make sure this is not me projecting. I don't want to be a part of it. I want to be a clear and open channel. And the idea that when it comes through, then it starts to decipher. So the receptors are how we receive. I receive visions. I receive sensations. I receive knowings. Okay, whatever the way you receive, that's your receptors. Your sensors are what take it and make sense of it. They start to pull it apart. Now, if it was for you, you would start to take that information apart for yourself. So that's what you want to get better at, right? Receiving more clear, consistent communication with your inner self, with your body for sure, right? With your environment, with your animals or spirit guides, with your higher self, with all the different things that are here to make your life very rich and lovely and helpful and guided. You also want to develop the ability to be a clear and open channel so that your expectations and your questions don't get in the way of what you're deciphering or muddy your interpretation of it. And so learning to do readings for other people, learning to do energy work with and for other people has been profound for me, because I've had to clear myself, become stronger and stronger at not just staying clear, but at keeping out any of my preconceived ideas about what it means, because I don't know how they're going to unfold. It's completely different every time, and it's fascinating. It's like going on this adventure and seeing it come through, and then everybody's crying and wow and oh my God, that was amazing, and that was exactly, what I needed or what I was looking for, or now I have the vision, like just to watch what happens. So the idea of wanting to know your soul lineage and wanting to belong to something is what's blocking your ability to know what it is. You are the sun and the moon. And when you balance those energies, masculine and feminine, spiritual and material, hot gold, creative powers with cool silver, nurturing powers, this is where your power is. and your lineage is celestial, and there's something deeper. So when we want to know something, there's two things that are going on. There can be an egoic craving, like I want to know, I want to know. For a lot of years, I was like, what's my spiritual name? What's my spiritual name? I couldn't receive it. The people that were in the mystery school I was in, they would say every time we'd meet somewhere in Egypt or Bimini or something, they'd be like, you have a spiritual name? And I'm like, I know, but I wanted to receive it myself. And it took a couple of years, I think 3. And then boom, right? It was there. So the want or the desire to know something is what blocks the receiving of it, because it's like in those moments that you're not looking for your soulmate, that you meet your soulmate type of idea, right? And so being in that flow for you is very important. Everybody needs to be in what they feel most loved. So what comes through in my soul readings and sessions is so unique to each person. I find it stunning. And then, so like today, this client felt very certain that she needed to be clearly connected to a higher level of herself that was doing work she needed to co-create with. And instantly, we went to a place and began a process and a path that connected her to her soul blueprint, to her record keeper. This isn't an Akashic Records. This is a different thing. It's your soul blueprint, and a guide and a way to do that. And the other day, this reading came through. Everything was about warming the heart. Fire, hearth, cozy, home, loving, being cared for, warming the heart, because the blocks, the frozenness was causing procrastination. I didn't know any of that. I just saw the frozenness. So that's the main thing. You belong to the all. You are one with Source. You're one with the infinite. You're one with the field of infinite possibilities. You chose to be in a form. You chose to be in a form to express specific things. So the soul lineage, the soul is a piece of Source. It's a movement, it's a thought, it's a desire, it's a stirring, it's a, ooh, I want to create. And it's gathering energies from the infinite field into the Source. And then this, like its own blob of energy, its own universe, it comes away, separates, so to speak. And then inside of that soul, it's like a workshop. Ooh, I'm going to make somebody who's in, let's see, some of the lives I've seen lately was a young slave girl, and Native American grandmother, and a Polish German grandmother, and a whole circle of grandmothers, right? And a servant, and all different things. So you create all these things and say, okay, now we have this diversity inside of the soul in order to have a lot of experiences, and then we're going to connect them. So it's like the motherboard connecting. You're calling in, I need help with this pattern. Oh yeah, we already knew we have this life on staff for you in this life. We're going to connect you. That's why you're going through this, is because of this experience, and you two can help each other. So soul lineage, in particular for this life, there's a lot of air, there's a lot of fairy energy, there's a lot of wing energy, but it's not angelic energy. And there's the celestial energy. So that, again, that idea of celestials are sun, moon, Pluto, stars, dust, nebulas, even the clouds are an element of earth, but they're celestial. So they're a partial earth, celestial, elemental. And because they're at a higher frequency. So air is it's a very important aspect of what you brought intentionally. So what your soul lineage is more about what your soul makeup is, your soul blueprint, what you chose to put together to bring, what fears you brought in, what talents you brought in, what states you want to become, to grow into, what things you want to complete. So that's for everybody to understand, that if you want to know who am I, you can ask who am I, and you will get different interesting answers for a year or 2 years. Ask it for a few years. Who am I? What am I? Who am I? What am I? Who am I? What am I? I used to go sit by a tree and ask the tree. Lots of different, and write what came through. So for you particularly, it's interesting you've chosen this name, Sun and Moon Rising, because rising is the key element to this. This idea of lightening, rising, moving up. You come from a lighter, more subtle realm and reality. Trying life in form has a challenge to it, a challenge to the body and being in form. It also has this really strange, delicious mixture, because you're bringing more lightness, more air element, more celestial element. That's a very expansive, lighter, higher frequency, therefore higher dimension on the scale frequency. So you have the ability to access higher states and the ability to, what I'm seeing is, bring it right down into your belly and your sacral and your root and inject it into the earth. This is a way of manifesting. So you're an air manifester, an intuitive manifester. It is mental field as well, but more of bringing in the many intuitive things, the higher realms, the celestials, and creating from that level, and then bringing it into form. There's Lemuria here. There's different images of like, I guess I'd call it priestesses or oracles or medicine women, very beautiful gold hair, gold thing around the head with jewels and shapes just straight up this way. Always a big jewel right over the third eye. There's a priestess. I want to say sisterhood, but that's not the correct word, but it is a feminine energy anchoring. So the air is also your intuitive side, it needs to be the leader, and your lineage is golden women. They're like standing in this gorgeous white marble curved temple, I guess, and it's got really, really tall, and then there's these silk scarves hanging and blowing, and there's one of these women standing between each set of pillars around this curve. I see 3 or 4, but I see there's more behind that. So this is a place for you to go. This is a place for you to connect. I would say they look similar to maybe like a Greek outfit, but they're gold or green and gold, and a lot of long hair and big eyes. Not abnormal like alien eyes, but very big eyes. And the development that they're going to share with you is going to be to tap into this lineage, to sort of, they're showing to take your place between the next 2 pillars, and each of them has this position that is connected to everything down the lineage. That's one of the reasons to want to know about a lineage versus wanting to be an explorer out on your own, is anchoring into a place where you have this support and this connection. So come back here. Ooh, wow. Ooh, I wish we had an hour. I would like to go on deeper and deeper on that. I have to like stop and go, okay, next. Okay, well, thank you so much, sweetie. Will you let me know either here or emailing ASST@nanakasha.com. That's Donna's email. Ask her to show it to me. It would be wonderful. I love to hear what happens for everyone. I was so blessed the other day. I did a reading for this beautiful person who got on and told me something so stunning. It was like a gift from the universe. So I used to crave and need attention and need affirmation. I needed people to say they loved me or that I was good enough. And I'm thankfully healed that. So when something comes in the form of a compliment or something like we would call it that, I don't have a reaction to resist it or to receive it or to feel good about it one way or the other. More just to use it to share with people so they understand how my work affects people, maybe. But it was so delightful and so profound because they said, I met you in this super random way. I was like watching some YouTube video and I fell asleep, and when I woke up you were on and you were talking, you were in my voice, your voice was inside of me, and I just knew, oh my God, and you literally saved my life. I was at this moment in my life and you saved my life. And I was just like, wow. And I don't even know what he was watching, right? It didn't matter because I just stay present and put out the energy so that it's there for people whenever they need it. And for me, instead of like, oh, look at me, I'm so great, oh, somebody liked me. The way I receive that now is more like, wow, thank you for letting me know. And whether I see that coming from the universe or coming from me to me, right, because I'm one with the all, that's a communication coming to me, or maybe that's my angel speaking to me through him or something. It doesn't matter. What's coming to me, if I receive it and accept it, is feedback that what you're doing is helping people, right? And if sometimes it's more specific than that, but whatever it is. So be in that way, be graciously receiving, because there's so much information, there's so much communication, and without getting overwhelmed, you can be on this beautiful path. So thank you for that, sun and moon. Beautiful. Oh.